Alright guys, welcome back. Having to redo some videos, learning some stuff about this GoPro. So if you turn the settings all the way up and you record for long periods of time, they get hot and they overheat. Nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can really do is kind of tweak the settings, turn some settings down that you don't really need unless you're doing like slow motion or things like that. So just had to learn a little bit about it, a lot of YouTubing it. So I've turned some settings off and down, and I'll just have to keep a check on it and make sure I don't go too long. I just did a video and it's a little warm, but nothing crazy. But anyways, back to what's going on. The F-14 work. I broke one of my linear actuators, so I've got to order another one, and I'm debating. I almost just said screw it and put these guys back in here, because the problem I ran into and the reason why I was having to do all this crazy stuff is it wasn't just taking the case off and putting the case on. For some reason, these new linear actuators, even though it was an L16, it just doesn't fit. And what it ended up being was the damn gearbox on the 150 ratio is thicker. So this wouldn't close, essentially. So it took me a while. So I was trying to swap around some gearboxes. Like you could take the shorter 150 L16, like a 50 millimeter, and you could take, and it had a smaller gearbox on it, but it was still 150 ratio. The problem was then it just didn't fit in here. It was like it was too short. So I think I'm just going to say screw it, and I'm just going to bolt the new actuators on as they are. I'll use the metal ends here, these aluminum ends at the end, just because they're smaller. But I mean, I get why the Skymaster did this, you know, maybe to make it stronger, but you know, these things, as they're designed, are designed to work to push and pull a certain amount of torque. So if the case is going to fail, then it should do it at a higher, it should technically still work, you know. So I'm not too worried about it pulling something apart, because the metal ones are the same as the plastic. They're just metal, you know. They have the same little cuts in them and everything. And the way this thing works is it's just an in and out kind of a deal here. So the linear actuator bolts, the rear end bolts into this metal piece, comes through the carbon wall, and then the end bolts here. So if this thing failed, you know, it's essentially just going to stop where it fails. And then if something broke, you know, the wing would get pushed back, and it would probably move maybe a ½ inch to an inch. Well, probably about 1.5 inches. So that would still, because it's going to hit something here. So, and I've seen these things land with one wing back, one wing out, both wings back, because they did all that during testing. I think I'm just going to say screw it, put the 150s on there and run them off of 2-cell ion, which is 7.4 volts, and see how it goes. If I have any issues with it, I will just put this back in, plug it up, and go. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let me know your thoughts on that, because I wish I could find somebody that has just got one of these to see exactly what linear servos they're using. Because if I could use the 63 gear ratio like the ones that are supposedly coming with them, then I could just bolt them, you know, those metal cases fit. But I'm going off some information from the guy Jonathan with Lighter RC, the one that they built. He said that if they put any pressure on the wings, they would just amp out. And I'm just like, well, that's what the factory sent, so I don't understand it. So they were the ones that recommended the 150 ratio, which is double the torque. So I don't know what to say about that. What do you guys think? You know, Should I just say screw it and put the 150s with the plastic cases on, or drop down to the 63 and use the metal case? What do you think? I know everybody wants metal, but you know, those are heavier, a lot heavier, and I don't think it's needed. Like I said, the original ones had plastic. And I think they just changed it to make people happy, honestly. I don't think they ever actually anyone's broke. But if it did, you know, let me know, you know. So that's kind of why I'm doing all this, you know. I learned stuff too, but so if anybody does have a new one and has the new style linear actuators, let me know what you have in the comments, and if you've had any issues with it. So, because like I said, the original ones ran off this 12 volt linear actuator setup, and like I said, it's just an in and out. I want the ability to do 3 positions, so that's why I'm using the other version. So, but anyway, so I got the tank back in here. I had to take this one out because the piece of the Velcro got rolled up under there and it just wouldn't sit flat. I got to check the other side because this one sits pretty stable. That one is rocking too. So hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to, I may have to take that tank back out just to check it, but hopefully not, because I just started putting these bolts in, and because this side, I took this side off and just slid it out the other side, but and I had to put this back on, so hopefully it's not rolled up. But anyways, so that's what I'm working on right now. And let me kind of come over here and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like, that doesn't seem very stable. Yeah, I think it's rolled up too. So yeah, so I probably just need to go ahead and just bite the bullet and take it out. So that made me have to go backwards a little bit, but so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. And that's it. Then like I said, this comes back here, landing gear bolts into the bottom of this, and everything kind of just sits in there, and it's very rigid setup. So they actually did a good job designing this jet. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm gonna pause this video and probably take this back out and check this Velcro, which is gonna take me a minute. So you guys have a good one. Let me know what you think about the things that I said. And then somebody did comment about this. They said that they had, and I know what they're talking about. There was a guy over in Europe that designed these like little turbine wheels that you could glue into these things, and they would just freewheel. But I just don't think you really need this. But he said, his gut said yes, but he had no reason why other than that. So we'll see. I might just run it without it, and if I notice something, I'll put them in. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call this one. This is an 8-minute video. Not a lot going on yet. That's 2 days out here, and I've gotten hardly anything done because I've been messing with those damn actuators. So I'm gonna get this tank fixed real quick, and then I'm gonna get all this put back together. So that way, I'm just waiting on those linear actuators, and I'll probably go ahead and, oh yeah, let me show you this, guys. So these are those struts that a friend of mine made for the Tomcat to kind of replace the ones, because the stock ones, it can go both ways. It can actually fold both ways. This one, he designed a little stop in there, so you kind of see them there. You got the little ears here, and then there's little ears. It's kind of hard to see, but there you go. Oh, right there on both sides. And that's what hits. So it won't go past center, but when it folds up, it's good. So gear is basically folded up in this position. It's actually, what would it look like? It would be like that. And then as it comes down, so. But I'm going to put these on, give them a whirl. All right, you guys have a good one, and talk to you later. Cheers.